So here we have find the rule of the image when y is equal to x squared is dilated by a factor of 5 from the x-axis, followed by a reflection in the x-axis, then translated 2 units in the negative x direction, and then 4 units in the positive y direction. Now, my first piece of advice here is first try it by inspection. I know that some people prefer by the method, but by inspection is so much quicker, and sometimes it's prone to less error. So let's see if we can answer this by inspection, and let's see how fast we can do it as well. We're beginning with y is equal to x squared. We're then told we're dilating it by a factor of 5 from the x-axis. That means we put a 5 in front of the entire thing. We're then told we're going to reflect it in the x-axis. Well, that simply means I put a negative in front of the whole thing, because when you're reflecting in the x-axis, you just chuck a negative in front of the whole thing. You're then told translation of 2 units in the negative x direction, a translation of 2 units in the negative x direction. That means you replace x with, now this is where you got to be careful. If I'm translating 2 units in the negative x direction, you have to swap the sign. So it's not negative, I'm going to swap it with x plus 2. So that means I'm going to get y is equal to, now instead of x, I'm going to replace it with x plus 2. So negative 5x plus 2 squared. Now take note, this means I'm moving it to the left. This is the basic quadratics here. We should all know that you have to swap the sign when you're thinking about moving it left to right. And then lastly, 4 units in the positive direction of the y-axis. That just means you're plussing it by 4. You could answer this question in mere seconds if you know how to do it by inspection productively. I'm now going to show you how much longer it takes you if you were to do this by the method. It's fine to do by the method, but it's just going to take you a lot longer to do it. So let's now talk about by the method, and you're going to see how much longer it takes us. And you should be thinking to yourself, could I do this by inspection? Especially if it's so straightforward as this, could I do it by inspection? That's really what I want you to think. All right, we're starting off with some point. I'm going to a new point called x dash y dash. We have to figure out what this x dash and y dash are going to be. All right, so let's think about this for a second. If I am dilating by a factor of 5 from the x-axis, that's affecting my y values. So you chuck a 5 in front of the y's, because you're dilating from the x, that's pushing everything up, well, that's affecting the y values. Then you're reflecting it in the x-axis. If you're reflecting it in the x-axis, it's again affecting the y values. So you chuck a negative in front of the y value there. So notice dilations and reflections, when doing it by the method, and it's happening to the x-axis, you actually change the y values. Next, translated 2 units in the negative x direction. Now this is a nice and straightforward one. When you're doing it by the method and you're doing translations, it's just exactly what it says. So 2 units in the negative x direction means it's x minus 2, because you're just moving it 2 in the negative x direction, so x minus 2. And then 4 units in the positive y direction, you just plus 4 to it. And you're doing it to the y. So that means x dash is equal to x minus 2, and y dash is equal to negative 5y plus 4. If you wanted to do a bit quicker, you could just immediately write out that x dash is this and y dash is that. That's fine. You then need to rearrange these. So you need to say, all right, what is x equal to? Well, x dash plus 2 is equal to x. And then here, y dash minus 4 over negative 5 is equal to y. Then you sub them in to your original. So our original was y is equal to x squared. So into the y spot, I would put this. So I'm going to go y dash minus 4 over minus 5 is equal to x plus 2 squared. So as you can see, I replace my x with this, and I replace my y with this. Then you rearrange y dash minus 4. I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 5 x plus 2, and then I will plus 4 to each side. Y is equal to negative 5x plus 2. And you can drop your dashes as well here. You can just drop them. I'm plussing 4. There's my answer. And as you can see, that's the same as what we started with. But can I encourage you, if you can do this by inspection, it's a whole lot quicker. I mean, this is fine, and you should be comfortable with both ways, but I would really recommend by inspection. All right, we'll launch into the next one here, and that is state the sequence of transformations that takes this into this. Okay, so how can we approach this question? We're going from this to this. And you know what? I'm actually going to take a break for a second. I'm going to catch my breath, and then in the next part, I'll go through this. I'll see you in the next part.